Andrew McGahan here alongside a member of the current series of TUF Smashes and also the Cage Contender lightweight champion Norman Parke. Norman, first of all, for those who don't know, just explain the process, how you had to get onto the Ultimate Fighter.
Well, basically, I was actually meant to fight in Vegas, and then the fight never came off, so I got a call from my manager to say that the Ultimate Fighter tryouts were trying in London, so flew back from Vegas, went to the Ultimate Fighter tryouts. Basically consisted of, you got picked, there was a selection of about 50 in each weight category, lightweight and welterweight. So we had to do grappling stages, and then we were picked in and we were going through to the striking stages. So got through to the striking stages, then they picked again to see if we get through to the interview. So did an interview, and then we had to do medicals and all the next day, and we stayed there in the Hilton that night, and then they says, right, go back, just get ready for a fight, and we'll call you in a few weeks' time just to head off to Australia, and that was it.
Ross Pearson has said that you were his #1 guy from the start. Did you have an idea when you were trying out with the other guys that you were better than them or you were going to be picked?
Well, obviously you're going to be fully confident in yourself that you're going to be the #1 when you go in there, and whenever I went in there I said to myself, right, I'm coming here for one thing and one thing only, but there was a lot of tough competition there, and there was a lot of good fighters that never got picked, to be honest, and I was kind of surprised I was picked due to some certain circumstances. I never thought I was going to be picked, so I got the phone call on the Friday to say I was flying out on the Wednesday, and there I was going to the Ultimate Fighter.
So for those that are keeping up, here's your for those of us that are watching on the television, you've just won your first fight. Was there a little bit of tension afterwards? Because for those that are watching, the Australians picked you and then complained afterwards that the guy was too small. Was there any bad blood afterwards? Or?
No, the way that fight was, I think George had that fight already picked, but I think he wanted to leave that fight till the very end just to work with Richie, to be honest, because I think Richie was maybe their more experienced one. Even though he was the lightest one, I think he was the more experienced fighter. You know, he's never been stopped before. He's only, but I was like coming into that fight, I was 10 pounds heavier than him on the fight day. So, and that told whenever the fight came. So that whole pick me thing was just a bit of fun at the start, and I think he actually said, and I posted on Facebook, George said that he actually was forced into making the fight early, if you know what I mean. Even though he had the fight picked a few days before, he was forced that week to pick the fight, and that was just a bit of fun. But the whole pick me scenario. But I guess I just did what I had to do, and then they made excuses after that I was too heavy and he was naturally featherweight or bantamweight. But at the end of the day, he came into a lightweight category, so if he wants to come in and fight against the lightweight, he's good enough to get beat up like a lightweight.
Just two quick things. Obviously, for those that are watching at home, people aren't realising there's a camera there, and walking in front of it is a little bit. Go on ahead.
Sorry, mate.
We won't edit this. For the jiu-jitsu fans out there, your jiu-jitsu coach is one of the best sport jiu-jitsu athletes out there at the minute, Jimmy Harbison. Lloyd Irvin, what was it like training under him?
Ross, when Ross brought the coaches in, we got introduced to the coaches. He had Jimmy, as you say, a great grappling coach. I heard Ross saying a lot of good things about him, so I got to roll with him. Like I'm not what you call great on the ground, but the reason how I can finish my fights is just by ground and pound. You know what I mean? That's different when you're throwing strikes to the face. But Jimmy is, oh man, definitely the best grappler I've ever seen in my life. Man, he's unbelievable. Like, that's just the word to describe him. Unbelievable.
And are you going to be heading over to the States to help Ross get ready for his fight against George?
For this fight here, I'm going to be just staying here. You know, I can't really afford to travel for the fights, because obviously we're here. I'm in the semi-finals, so we've been told the people's in the semi-final just to keep getting ready because you could be called for the finale as well. So, but Ross, I'm confident Ross is going to get the win. And but after December, you know, I hope to head over to America and train with Ross and Jimmy as well.
So, Norman, I can assume you've obviously got one win. You're going to get a fight in the UFC. Does this mean we won't see you defend your Cage Contender belt anymore?
Well, I'll not really go that far yet, but we'll just leave it at that. Do you know what I mean? Can't really say too much about that there.
Miles Price thinks he has a shot at it now next year against Ali McLean.
Well, that'll be a good fight. There has been a lot of talk about that there. So Miles is a good fella. I like Miles. I like Ali, but he's a bit of a mouth, to be honest. So it'd be good to see the two of them fight, to be honest.
Thanks very much, Norman, and best luck in your UFC.
Thank you very much, buddy. All right. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, no, hop in.